How's it going, everyone? It's Artifact, and just a little tutorial today on making a cool stellar ARP in Vital. And yeah, really excited for tomorrow because my new tune Rejects with Freedon comes out, so make sure you stick around tomorrow and check that one out. And yeah, also in case you haven't checked out my latest Vital presets, Derelict, some really cool sounds in there, so definitely feel free to check those out. Anyway, today we've got this stellar ARP. Let's have a quick listen. I really love this sound. I like the chords and I like the kind of groove on them as well, and maybe not sure if I love it with the rest of the track yet, but let's have a quick listen with the drums and that kind of stuff. Definitely works, just needs a bit of sort of EQing and a bit of a haircut. I had a haircut, by the way. Didn't really change much, but yeah. Yeah, so what I wanted to talk about again was, this is only Logic specific, just this 1 second here. The rest of it's Vital, so that's for anyone. But yeah, the Arpeggiator mode, absolutely loving it, and the presets on there are great. And yeah, because I haven't really used it much before, but I just programmed in a bunch of different chords. And to be honest, I just like playing the notes, and like I don't really think about the music theory, to be quite honest with you. I was trying to look up what chords I was using, but in the end I was like, I don't really even care. Like, as long as it sounds like it kind of progresses nicely, then I'm not exactly that fussed about what exact chord I'm using, to be fair. Yeah, and there's this complex chord groove, which, you know, if I take it off, this is what's just doing that kind of pattern for me. And if you open up Vital, you can see like the chords being played. So of course you can just play it in yourself and emulate it. This was just a kind of cheat to get like an interesting kind of rhythm. But let's talk about the sound design of the ARP, because that's kind of what the most important thing is here. And yeah, it's a combination of like using different wave shapes. For example, the harmonic series, which is kind of like sine wave but with some extra harmonics. Then a saw wave, which has just got two voices and they're like on the side, so like there's not one in the middle. It's just like this kind of two kind of parts out to the side, and then there's this kind of bass underneath it, and that bass has got a bit of frequency modulation with the sample, which is this jackhammer, which has this kind of, yeah, it's a bit of a kind of drilling kind of texture. It's quite nice. Yeah, and it gets nice and clicky in here, and that's a nice little transient at the start of the kind of sound. And yeah, with this main one, well, actually the main one is probably the saw. But yeah, with the harmonic series, it's kind of sine wave. That's really nice. And I've just taken up the attack to kind of like give a bit of a fade in to the sound. You can kind of hear it more just. So I really like that on its own as well. We could use this, like for example, actually I might do this now. I might just copy this whole thing over and have like this version as like the kind of intro, where it's just like with the kind of harmonic series. And then on the main one, we go back and we introduce all the other stuff again. So yeah, I think that would be quite a nice kind of transition, right? Yeah, I'm loving that ARP. It's quite sort of a bit poppy, commercially kind of flavour, but it's got the chords really nice and the sound design is really cool. Anyway, I'm rambling a little bit. Let's get back to this Vital. So the harmonic series, we like that. With our little bass with the little jackhammer on it, and then the saw wave, like I said, just spread it out. To 2, it just kind of, everything fits together when it's there. If I go to 3, not quite as good. It doesn't doesn't let the sound open up in the way that it does when it's on 2. So definitely experiment with the amount of voices you use. It really drastically changes the kind of impact of the sound. because essentially these ones are out on the side, so it's allowing for the other one, this kind of one, the top one, to really dominate in the middle, and then we've got that dominating in the middle and the other one just out on the sides. That's creating this like real contrast between the two, and then like kind of makes for a more like well-rounded sound in this case. Yeah, effects. I got a couple of really important ones, which is the chorus. The chorus is adding this kind of tail. It's almost like a natural reverb. And all I've done is I've turned the depth right up, and then I've just tuned the delays like around a bit till I like the position. They're naturally moving around in a circle, these kind of voices that we're creating, which is the speed of which is controlled here, because obviously you could make it slower. But yeah, this was kind of a nice speed. Feedback is like how long that kind of tail is at the end of the sound. And then obviously just mix in till we find a nice balance. And then I really, really like this delay when I threw it on, because if you listen a bit closely, if I turn it up a bit, it's got this like kind of extra kind of note that we put in, and when we have that like quite quiet in the mix, it's like this extra kind of background energy note, almost like a ghost note, and it provides this like sort of extra kind of galloping horse type energy, which is really important to make your music sound more like Lord of the Rings. And I just like putting an LFO on this EQ, just to kind of boost the treble a little bit every time we have a new kind of chord, so it's a bit of more of an impact at the start. It's nice to get a bit of the bump going in the EQ somewhere, and in this case the treble kind of responded quite nicely to that. My distortion isn't really doing much on this one because the sound is already so full anyways. You know, if I distort it too much, like even a little bit, it starts to really like just destroy the sound because it's already so big. It's got a bit of kind of filter movement here in the low end. You know, we could really take out a lot of the low end if we wanted to like tighten the sound up a bit, but it's kind of just tightening up a little bit in the low end. That's set to our LFO as well here, so every time the note starts, that's just triggering this modulation here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I really, really like this stellar ARP. Yeah, still really, really enjoying Vital, to be honest. I think I've kind of unlocked a new level of potential of sound design in myself, which is why also I'm like doing these preset packs, because I think they are sort of going to get better and better as I keep doing them. Anyway, yeah, I'm not trying to like sell you too hard on buying them, but just buy them, all right? Yeah, that's enough about that. And yeah, tomorrow, make sure you check out Rejects, because it's going to be a really, really great release. I've been looking forward to releasing this one for ages. And yeah, after that, we'll be moving on to something new, production-wise. Maybe I'll turn this into a finished song. Who knows? But yeah, I hope you learned a little bit about synthesis again with me. And yeah, if you're on Logic, definitely check out the Arpeggiator thing. If you're not on Logic, you know, I'll still have a moderate amount of respect for you because it's just a software, right? And Vital. Yeah, just copy my settings if you like. I'll probably put this in a like future preset pack, or maybe I'll put it on Patreon. I'll put it on Patreon today so that I can talk about that as well. So join Patreon and you'll get this preset as well, because I think this is a dope one. Yeah, uploading that now. Anyway, have a wicked day and see you tomorrow for the Rejects release. Peace.